What's good everyone, yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here to talk about Unotheactivist and Thouxanbanfauni, who are two artists coming from Atlanta that have been on the grind for several years now, coming up in that 2015-16 SoundCloud era, and were affiliated with Playboi Carti as a trio of the made up Splo Gang or 2900. Unfortunately though, unlike the likes of Carti, Uzi and Yachty, Fauni and Uno haven't been really able to take off in the same way, so in today's video I wanted to try give some reasons for this happening. And of course guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on all social medias, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a video. But moving on. Firstly is the two's lack of networking and ongoing beefs. As I said, the two originally came up with Carti, however as Carti began to associate himself more so with the ASAP mob, he would split from Uno and Fauni, and they wouldn't really be around Carti or anyone from the mob anymore. And through Carti's ascension we can see the power of networking. Him being able to position himself with the mob and Rocky gave him a platform to capitalize on and played a role in him blowing up. By contrast though, Uno and Fauni haven't really played the industry game like that, which is noble in a sense, but has led to all kind of issues. They've both very publicly beefed with Carti, Lil Yachty, and the two individually have had their own situations with different artists. And these are terrible business decisions to be making, especially when the underground SoundCloud fanbase that listens to Carti and Uno and Fauni is basically one big community, so it leads to fans picking sides, artists not wanting to collab, and torn industry relationships. Especially in the case of Carti, the collaborations between Splo Gang are SoundCloud classics, so if they could mend that relationship and start collabing again, it could be huge for all of them. But at this point, I think the egos of all three of them have gotten in the way, and it's unlikely we will see them reunited again anytime soon. This also extends to influencers as well. Fauni and Uno don't really have that network of social media tastemakers to push their music. Carti or even someone like Shekwez were aided so much by popular youth culture figures like Ian Connor or Spaghetti Boys pushing their music, but Uno and Fauni in recent times, because of their fallouts and beefs, aren't really getting those influential cosigns like they have had in the past by people like Ian Connor or ASAP Bari, although it must be said that Fauni seems to be on the path to patching up beefs and is starting to realize that a mended relationship is better than a beefing one, as we've seen him patch it up with the likes of Yachty. And the next point to move on to is just really a poor management of music releases and overall a lack of solid career direction. Uno in particular has been hurt pretty badly by leaks. A significant portion of his long-awaited project LSD would leak, making the delays for the project even longer and severely fucking with its rollout and hype. Fauni, by contrast, hasn't been that heavily impacted by leaks, but one that does stand out was Fable or Hold On, one of his hotly anticipated snippets that would unfortunately leak and hurt its hype. Aside from leaks, the two have mismanaged releases and opportunities that really showcases poor management. In Uno's case, one recent example is his latest single, Cloned Existence. The song was officially released at the start of November, however, it actually leaked quite a while before that, but for some reason what Uno did was hype up the release of an upcoming song as if it was a totally new track and then drop it as a single, but turns out it was actually the song that had leaked, and fans were like, what the fuck? We've had this song for ages now, why would you hype us up this whole time for a leaked track? Furthermore, Uno recently signed to Republic and it seems like he's having a tough time actually releasing music. 8, which I believe was meant to be his second album, was announced over a year ago but is still yet to come out, and another EP, Limbus 2, seems to be in limbo for now as well. Also, deciding to drop a music video for Sometimes I Wonder 2 years after it was released is a baffling decision. Don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite Uno songs hands down, but dropping a video 2 years after just doesn't make much sense, and it would have been smarter to do a video for a recent or upcoming song instead. And in Fauni's case, he just really doesn't put that much effort in promoting his stuff. He will drop a song or a music video, but he doesn't even bother to promote them on his Twitter or IG, which really doesn't make much sense, as that's how your average fan finds out about new songs and videos. And this is just basic music promotion 101. You release a song/video and you promote it on social medias, but sometimes he just doesn't do it. Furthermore, one kind of weird thing was that the Lost Files compilation that was released on streaming services was made up of some songs that were just YouTube and SoundCloud rips, like Wish the Worst on Spotify at the end has audio from a completely different song that shows it was just a rip from the video, and things like this to show a lack of effort are jarring for the listener and are small things that could make his reach go further. And it's also got to do with the music they're releasing. I think at one point Cardi, Uno and Fauni shared a similar aesthetic musically, but what Cardi did was take a break from releasing music and he made a sound that stood out amongst the flooded SoundCloud market, and one that was able to reach beyond to the mainstream with self-titled, whereas I don't think Uno or Fauni have been able to do this quite as effectively. And I think this point applies to Fauni more so than Uno, because Fauni has been non-stop dropping music for the longest now, which is good in a sense, but at this point his music is samey project to project and it really isn't showing too much progression, and because he's dropped so much, it's led to a case of quantity over quality with a few dud releases here and there, to be honest. And I think Fauni's music not really standing out and its lack of progression over the years has played a part in his stagnation. This same point doesn't really apply to Uno as much right now, as over the last year or so on projects like LSD, we've seen him switch up his style pretty significantly. And all of these points I have made kind of highlight a lack of direction and at times poor management. For artists like Cardi, Uzi or Yachty to make that next step to the mainstream, people like Rocky, Drama/Canon or Coach K/QC helped give them that direction and management that they needed to make that transition. Whereas I think Uno and Fauni up until this point have lacked that guidance, direction and management to help push them to that next level. And that's all I had for today. I really hope we can see them both take off, because the two at their peak make absolute heat, and there's no doubt tracks like Every Since, Parking Lot Pimpin' or Splo Gang are a part of SoundCloud history. But that's all from me today guys. Thanks a lot for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on all social medias and turn on notifications to be aware of future videos.